Hi, hello. I was actually watching Ali Abdal, which is one of my favorite YouTubers, and I was watching his channel, and then suddenly there was this video where all the YouTubers got together and they were like doing a short video on how their productivity home setup was done. And I thought, oh my God, it's such a great idea. I got to do that because right now I'm in the process of actually cleaning up my home studio, trying to make it look really pro and really nice. So it's a little bit in a mess. So I thought, okay, such a great idea. Let me actually record this just the way it is. So that way I can do how it was messy today and then how it is cleaned up later on. Maybe one of my videos could be something like that. So I'm going to show you guys my home setup. It is messy, it is honest, it is exactly the way it is. And hopefully this will inspire you guys to let you guys also know that, listen, it's okay to have a messy home space, especially when you're working. But you know what? It's not a big deal because you can always have time to clean it up. So let me show you my desk setup, or the way I have this whole thing set up right over here. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so basically if this is actually my setup over here. I mean, I will actually sit over here. And then of course, that is how I basically just have my camera over there. My softbox, of course, is over there. And then I will sit and I will just do my YouTube recording. This is not exactly always the setup the way I have it. I always try to change it around a few things. But of course, right now I'm using my Sony ZV-1. This is my microphone, my Boya microphone that I use, wireless, which is kind of cool. This is awesome. I have headphones. I have some writing material over here. Just some cases. When I'm traveling, I like to put things in different cases because it's just easier for me to to just kind of like work. Then over here I have a couple of my stands. I have my big stand over here, and then I have a little stand over there, and that's of course my Moza gimbal. I only have one gimbal, so I don't have multiple gimbals. Maybe later on I may expand my gear, but you know what, for now I just use only this one because I think it's really cool. Then right over here is a little bit of a messy table, as a side table over here. And then of course my speaker, which is a Bluetooth speaker. Then that's my Yoda over there, that I am a huge fan of Yoda. I'm a big Star Wars fan, obviously. And of course that is my huge mess. That's just one of the messes that I have, which I don't even know what that cloth is sitting there for, but that's a whole mess right there. Then this is my desk setup over here. And of course I have a nice 30-inch monitor. It's connected to my MacBook Air, which my uncle gifted to me for Chinese New Year a couple of years ago. I have a nice mechanical keyboard. I kind of like that. And of course I have also a nice Basilisk mouse over here. A couple of things over here that I really like. My favorite watch is right over here. I actually have two watches, and that's the one that I wear all the time during the week. And then of course during the weekend I wear the other one, which is actually sitting in the watch winder right over there. And this is my old business card from New York. I have a kitchen timer. The one thing about kitchen timer, I think I have made a video episode on this. It's probably on my channel somewhere. Is I like to time myself when I'm doing work, because it's very easy that when you're working, time flies off. So I always put my timer exactly on 30 minutes, and I will always play it so that way I remind myself that every 30 minutes has passed by. Am I being productive, or all that kind of stuff. I'm a fashion designer, so these are my garment labels. I have two examples kept on my table just to remind me not to forget about my first love, which is fashion design. So I have it in two colors. There's a whole episode on this on my channel. So those of you who are interested in fashion, you may look at my fashion episodes. This is my favorite picture. It's my dad, me, and my brother. I have a sister, of course, but she was too young and she was not in this photograph. This was us before we were going to school, Don Bosco, in North India. And I don't know why I've had this picture for so many years, I think more than 30 years. And wherever I travel, I always take this with me. And of course, it always sits on my table. And of course, over here, I have my phone. I also have my trackpad, Apple trackpad. So I use it, I use left hand and right hand. So when I'm working on my setup, I have my keyboard, and then anytime I do some work, I will use my trackpad because it's kind of like so much more easier, and it's such a big trackpad. It's perfectly fine. I love it. Then this side is just like a whole mess, of course. This is my PC setup. So I have two setup. I basically have a Mac setup this way that extends to my large monitor that side, and over here I have PC. So if there's any school work or anything of that sort, if I want to do, this is where I will get it done. I have this little reminder over here from one of my favorite shows. It says, "Don't ever forget the battles you fought and won," from the West Wing, which I love. It's one of my favorite shows, and I have this quote, and I just keep it over here. Then, of course, that's Boba Fett over there, and my X-Wing fighter, which I'm going to be doing an episode on it pretty soon. And, of course, I have some writing material over here. This is actually because I use DaVinci Resolve as my main editing software, my output software. So this is a little bit book that I write all my notes for DaVinci in here. So this way it's easy for me to carry it around. Plus, it's kind of cool. I throw it in my bag so I can remember all my notes because I use DaVinci a lot actually. Then of course over here is just my little lazy sofa. Then all over here I have my favorite things, which is kind of far away. I have this old sewing machine that my wife got it for me from the market. It's very, very antique. It doesn't work obviously, but it's kind of cool. Then of course I have Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, C-3PO, R2-D2, Bush, Gomorin God, 21B over there, and of course there's Yoda over there. Now I do have a lot more Star Wars figures. I'm just trying to find a proper place to present them very nicely. I do have cats, so you know what? This looks nice right now, but when I go to work and the cats hang out in here, which they normally do, this whole thing always gets into a mess because they end up playing with my Star Wars toys more than me. And this is an old Technics amplifier, and I have original Technics speakers right over there. I have two of them. Technics it's a very old company, but I just like old things. And of course, it's old, but the music, the sound is really cool. I really like my sound to be fantastic. And then of course I have a nice little robot over there that was gifted to me. It's not exactly working, but it just looks really cool, and there it is. So, okay, so that was my little bit of a desk setup right here. As you can see, it was a total disaster. It's a mess, but you know what? What is important is you have a space that you can work in. That is the most important thing, because there's always time for you to clean up. So every weekend, because I shoot a lot of videos, a lot of content, even though I have a backlog right now, because now I'm trying to spend a lot of time doing all the editing work. I'm trying to improve the quality of my videos, but my office does actually get into a huge mess all the time. And every weekend I try to give myself a little time to fix it up, tidy it up. But then by the time the weekend comes along, it becomes a big mess again. And that's perfectly okay. I'm okay with it. So I hope you like this little tour thing that I did. And the next time I do a video, hopefully it'll be the improved, redesigned version of this. So we can do like an A-B comparison. So thank you for spending some time with me. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. Peace.